Welcome back. So I wanted to show you something. On December 14th of 2012, we had the Sandy Hook shooting, and the moon was 1.33 days old. Okay. Anthony Bourdain, phony suicide when the moon was 33% visible. Rapper X, phony killed when the moon was 5.33 days old. Vinnie Paul dies when the moon is 9.44 days old. So these are not coincidences, these are patterns. Same hidden hand behind all those events. And if we look at the moon phase for December 8th, 2004, the night that Dimebag Darrell was allegedly killed, we see that the moon was visible 17%. So this shows that the same hidden hand that was behind this was also behind Sandy Hook, was also behind 9/11, was also behind Anthony Bourdain, was also behind Rapper X, and all of the others. And all of these actors and performers and musicians and artists are all puppets for the New World Order or employed by the New World Order. You look at CNN, conveniently, Anthony Bourdain worked for CNN, the king of hoaxes and fake news, the propaganda arm of the government. And when I look at this album cover, this couldn't look more government. They love to blow stuff up. Newfound power refers to global New World Order power. We're like this big, happy, fascist, one world government now. And in fact, according to Propagandapedia, Newfound Power is the debut and only studio album released by the heavy metal band Damage Plan, formed by brothers after the breakup of their previous band Pantera. Pantera is an Italian police car. Newfound Power was also the original name of the band, but was changed prior to the album's release. The record sold 44,676 copies. Frank Zappa said that these numbers were all fake. The charts were fake. It was all contrived and fabricated. So we don't really know how many copies it sold. But that's what they want to tell us. The 44 and the 33,733 sold, debuted at number 38 on Billboard. They lie about everything. They lie about absolutely everything. The little things, the big things, and everything in between. They absolutely lie about everything. So we really don't know. They keep everyone as blinded and in the dark as possible about everything.
No suspects have been publicly identified, but the sheriff's office says detectives are reviewing prior shooting incidents in the area as part of their investigation. This as we learn more about the victim, a scientist and loving father.
5 days after the senseless murder of Tristan Beaudet, a father who was camping with his 2 young daughters, questions about what could have been done to prevent it.
I would have hoped that there was a little bit more, at least security of
more security.
The campsite where you have people just sleeping there unknowing that there are dangers in the hills just right outside.
James Rogers says he was camping in Malibu State Creek Park in November of 2016 when he was struck in the middle of the night.
I fell through my hammock and I awoke just to find the wound on my arm.
Multiple wounds, likely from shotgun pellets, required surgery. Rogers says he reported the incident to police.
I showed him the area and told him all about what happened. And then that was pretty much it until I found out there was another incident.
Now, he says he reported his gunshot wound a day and a half after he was shot. But there's a problem with that, because if you are shot in California and probably most other states as well, the hospital staff is required to notify the police, who then come out to investigate, take a statement to find out how are you shot, because that is the sign of a crime. If you walk in with a gunshot wound into a hospital, the authorities are going to talk to you. But in this case, they didn't happen. They just did surgery, removed the pellets, and sent him on his merry way, which never would have happened in any hospital in California. And his name, James Rogers, is an upside-down 666 with 18 in vowels and 18 in consonants. So it's 666 upside down vertically and 666 horizontally, because 36 means 666 as well.
Rogers says he knows of 2 more shootings that happened shortly after his, including the bullet that pierced Melissa Tantangelo's vehicle in the middle of the night just 2 months later. Police say they're investigating 3 other shooting incidents that happened within the last year, but so far aren't saying there's a connection.
There is no evidence that suggests that this incident is related to any other prior shooting near the location.
That's a really odd name for a deputy. Wally Brax in numerology gives you your 911, 911, 9 in vowels, 1 in consonant, 1 in reduction. But it also gives you your 733, and there's also a 133, and there's also a 533, which was the age of the moon when rapper X was allegedly killed.
Tristan Baudette's rabbi, Arnold Rockless, says his Irvine community is reeling after their devastating loss.
This is a family that really loves each other deeply, and for him to take his kids on a camping trip was such a natural thing.
He says Tristan's wife, Erica, and their 2- and 4-year-old daughters are surrounded by extended family and doing as well as can be expected. This morning, Malibu Creek State Park remains closed until further notice.
I just have a mark on my arm. Like, it could have been a lot worse. It did get a lot worse for somebody, and that eats away at me that it happened again to somebody else.
Miguel, this is also strange. I mean, do police have any leads on this? Any suspects?
Yeah, guys, authorities have not held a press conference to offer the public an explanation and discuss what the next steps they are taking. Still a lot of questions and not a lot of answers, guys.
Miguel, keep on it for us if you would. Thank you very much.
Now, this article says that Nicole Nishida, a sheriff's department spokeswoman, said 3 other shootings occurred in the last year, quote, nearby within the sheriff's jurisdiction, unquote. And in numerology, you can see that the reason that they put that in quotes is to reflect the symbol 188. 8 plus 8 is 16, which is the code for 733. It has 86 in vowels. 68 was Anthony Bourdain's alleged suicide date. And you have your 58 symbol. And 58 means 76 for 733. Or 61 rather, but means the same thing. And she just said that the shootings happened June 6th, which is your 66, July 22nd, which is your 74, and June 18th, which is your 69. And the time between June 6th and the total solar eclipse was 76 days for your 733 symbol. And the time between the June 6th shooting and the July 22nd shooting was 47 days, because that's the number of degrees on the compass and the square and compass. And that is 1 month and 17 days, 17, important symbol. And in alternative time units, that's 6 weeks and 5 days. There's your 65 symbol. The Alrosa Villa shooter was wearing a 65 jersey in one of the evidence photographs. And 47 days is 12.88% of 2017. Your 88 again is your code for 733, because 8 plus 8 is 16. And of course, the span of time between all of these shootings also reflects Masonic symbols. That shows that it's contrived. You know, why would they want to do that? Why would they want to? Oh, that's right. They want to make sure everybody is in fear. They want to make sure that nobody feels safe anywhere, even in a state campground. They want to make sure that, even really super rich, wealthy, affluent people in Malibu don't feel safe. It's all about drumming up support for gun control. The time between the 6/22 killing of this chemist doctor until the anniversary of the total solar eclipse is 60 days, which is 1 month, 30 days. There's your 13 for the Master of Time. That is 16.44% of 2018. 16 means 733. 44 is a double master builder number. And James Rogers says he was shot on November 3rd, 2016. 11-3, 11 times 3 is 33. And I already showed you the numerology on James Rogers' name. He's an upside down 666. And the time between the July 22nd shooting and 11-3 is 105 days. That's the symbol 15 for your Jewish Satan. And that is 3 months and 13 days. That's a number scramble. It means 133 for 733. Is 15 weeks and 28.77% of 2018, because I'm just measuring between the actual dates. The dates, it doesn't matter what the year is. He says he needed surgery to remove the pellets that hit him, although they, like I said, they didn't call the law enforcement. The hospital didn't call law enforcement, which they certainly would have done. He heard a loud bang, then felt a burning sensation in his arm and fell to the ground. Before I could look at my wound, I did a quick check of the perimeter, and I saw nothing. And that sounds like something that law enforcement would say, not a biologist camper. And the article goes on to say that Malice, that's not a misspelling, Malice, not Melissa, Malice, Tangelo was camping in her Honda when she heard a noise around 5 a.m., because that means 55, in January of 2017. She said she and another camper did not go outside, but later found ammunition in her car. Her name sums to 55, but you see she has the 911 again. And this is something that we keep seeing over and over, and her name, Melissa, means 911, because it's missing the S. It's missing the A. I could go on and on and on, but this is a completely contrived fake news story that has pulled in $200,000 in revenue. And they got to shut down the campsite. They got to shut down the whole state park so nobody could enjoy it. But they got to keep people in fear, and they got to keep people divided. And it's all just an attack on the public consciousness by our elected officials who are supposed to be working for our benefit and on our behalf, protecting and serving. But as you can see, just the opposite appears to be true.